There's you sitting at the table.
Favorite ones actually that I've ever drawn for a voice actor. Sold out of those.
A lot of people at their tables just don't look like they're having a good time or look like they don't want to be there. No
Yeah.
one's gonna come up to you and want to hang out and talk to you about art.
And then, if they do ask if you have something, don't just say no. Be like, I don't have that here, but like
I see a lot of people at your table all the time.
I drew up a bunch of guns with flowers. That really set off everything. I don't know if I can curse on here.
Welcome, everybody. This is Art Talk Live, and I'm going to change that title because they're never live. But what we do is we talk to different indie artists. We try to give you some help on how to sell more, and we get to also know them personally. And with us today, we have Summer. Summer is amazing. She has this wonderful psychedelic art. I wonder if I can actually pull it up. Share screen. I think I can do this. But your art is just so amazing. While I'm trying to pull up your Instagram, can you just tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to do art and start selling at conventions?
Starting doing art. I mean, I've been drawing and making art since I was a kid. None of my family was artistic, so I don't know how it started happening. But I went to my undergrad for art. I'm an art therapist, so my kind of whole life revolves around art. Started doing conventions a few years ago and kind of just been on the swing of things since. Yeah, painter by trade always, and then I got an iPad, started doing digital art. I've sold paintings, I've sold digital art, I've sold prints, coloring books, stickers, etc., etc. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I've been making art my whole life in all different mediums, and I'm an art therapist.
You're an art therapist.
I am an art therapist.
Yeah. How did you get into that field?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a fine artist. And my mom was like, you're never going to make money being just an artist. Let's find something else that's cool. And I knew I always wanted to help people. And I was 15 and I found out what art therapy was. And I've kind of just been on that track since. So I really like helping people in like a creative way, especially because sometimes I have trouble putting my feelings into words. It really helps others do the same,
Right.
process creatively. So it's my biggest passion. Art and therapy are my two passions. So being able to put them together is awesome.
Nice. Is that a screen showing up?
Yep, that is my Instagram.
Alrighty. So yeah, your art is just so like psychedelic looking. And it's really cool. Like, what inspired this art style?
I don't even know. It kind of just happened. I get a lot of ideas and help from my partner who's sitting right next to me, quietly, but he's over here. But yeah, he's helped me a lot come up with like a lot of creative ideas. So I do give some of the credit to him. He's like, draw this, and I draw it up, and something crazy comes out.
Right.
I just started with bright colors when I got my iPad, and it just kind of happened. A lot of my paintings have always been like very like psychedelic, very abstract, bright. So it's kind of just been my shtick since I was younger. But I've seen it grow in such a way since I started doing digital art in a way that I was never thought I'd be able to do. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. There's you sitting at the table.
Yeah, that's one of my only table pictures. I take videos of my tables, but I have that one of my table.
This is the one you did for me.
I was super excited to do that. It was fun.
It's very like, I don't know. Like I said, it's very trippy. So it's like, you don't have any artists in mind that like kind of influence this, or you just kind of
Not really. I feel like I have a very unique style. Kind of something you don't see a lot of the time. I mean, I love art history. I've always been an art nerd. I love going to art museums.
right.
Van Gogh. My favorite artist is Georgia O'Keeffe, which inspires like a lot of my paintings. You don't see it as much. So like a lot of my paintings are like skulls, flowers. I mean, you see a lot of flowers in my work. So I would say Georgia O'Keeffe. I have a screen background on, so you might not be able to see it, but hold on, let me try and make this bigger. I don't know if you can see any of my paintings. I can't see me, but
you disappeared.
oh, okay. Well, regardless, I can send a picture of that.
Yeah.
Which showing the screen, but regardless, sorry. Oh, there I am. But yeah, so George O'Keeffe, huge reference. You know, I love Van Gogh, I love Matisse, a lot of impressionists. So I feel like you see a lot of that in my paintings and in my digital work as well.
So I was drawn to your work because of that style. And I noticed that when you go to conventions, people are always at your table. So, well, actually, before I get into that, can you remember your first convention experience?
So it was actually a gun show. It
A
wasn't a
gun
convention,
show.
it was my first like real event. Yes, I drew up a bunch of guns with flowers. It was
Oh,
before
wow.
I had frames. You know, that really set off everything. The guy who runs Liberty Con in
Mhm.
PA, when he did it the first year, he's pretty decent acquaintances with my partner. So we kind of just like got a table and started doing it, and now it's just here. We're just always doing conventions, always doing something fun, always trying to do events. I've done like Pancakes and Booze, which is a traveling event throughout the country, and I guess the world now. I've done that a few times. You know, I've done like some little indie events, but I really like anime conventions. I feel like that's where I thrive.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to ask you next. Like, out of all those different like festivals you might do or anything like that, do you feel like, I guess the comic conventions are kind of more your thing?
Yeah, the ones that are really anime based is where I get like the most sales. I mean, I would say I always do like fairly well. But yeah, anime conventions is like my favorite like experience always too. So, you know, I really enjoy doing them, and I always try to get as many under my belt a year as I can.
Right. How many do you think you do a year now?
Last year I think I did like between 12 and 15. I'm not sure. I try in the summer months to do like 2 a month if possible, maybe
Mhm.
more. Last year I did go a little hard, so that was fun. You know, I am working a lot now, interning, you know, doing a bunch of different things, but I'm still trying to make it work. I have one coming up next weekend, actually.
Yeah, I know it's rough getting them all together. How do you manage that? Like kind of having like an art tour because I do close to 20 myself a year.
Yeah, I definitely want to look for a few more. I like smaller cons, but the way to manage it is having my partner help me. I wouldn't be able to do it alone, seriously.
It's very helpful.
I'm very, yeah, I'm very disorganized, and sometimes we drive a lot, so you
Nice.
know.
And then it's like when you go to the convention, you want to kind of like walk around a little bit just to get a breather and
Yeah.
there's no one at your table.
Uh-huh.
That's my problem. I don't
Yeah.
have anybody to sit at my table, so I kind of gotta. Oh, it's a dead time. Let me run around real quick and look at everything. And
Yeah,
then,
it's good to try and get a table next to someone you know, like if you're alone, especially, just be able to be like, hey, you gotta run to the bathroom. But like even like me being next to somebody I know I like, because just in case like me and my partner want to go walk around, sometimes like I always try and draw something for one of the voice actors so I can like connect with one of them. So sometimes we like to go together. So it's, if you can get a table next to somebody you know, I definitely recommend it.
now that's interesting. Actually, I never even thought to try to do that. So you would draw something like for the voice actors to give them.
Yeah, so every event I do, I take at least one of the voice actors that I like or vibe with,
Mhm.
and I draw something up for them. I bring it to the convention. Um, you know, usually that's one of my like main displays at the convention.
Right.
So like for example, when I did Geekdom last year, the voice actor for Tokyo, Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul was there. So I drew one of my favorite ones actually that I've ever drawn for a voice actor. You know, sold out of those because that
Wow.
was my main display, and then got it signed by him. So, and that's how I actually ended up doing commission work for Baruto, the voice actor for Baruto. Was I drew something for her, had her sign it, and then we kind of got talking, and I ended up doing 4 commissions for her. So that was cool.
Putting us on game. Okay. So let's get into the strategies then. Is there a certain way that you set up your booth in order to attract people? Because like I said, I see a lot of people at your table all the time.
Yeah, so my table's really bright, so it's very eye-catching. You can't miss it. You pass it, it's got, you know, colors everywhere. I mean, that's not everybody's thing, that's just my thing.
Right.
So that's like a first thing. You know, I have a setup where it's not like blocking us off. Like I know some people have like the raised stands, which works a lot for some people. For me and my partner, especially since we're together, we like to have it very open. Um, but yeah, frames is really good. When I have stuff framed on the table, I feel like it makes it look a little bit more professional. Plus, I have my books. You know, just try and display everything you can in the most organized and symmetrical way. I'm a very asymmetrical person.
Right.
I like when things aren't perfectly symmetrical, but most consumers like, you know, a really symmetrical layout. So if you look at my table, I have, you know, my prices sheet on one side, and then on the other side I have like my like what's it called, payment apps, and then on either side you'll see like I have stickers on one side and on the other side. If you look down at my table, I have like sorry, excuse me, I have a table with like my books in the middle, and then behind it will be like my smaller books, so everything is in the middle. Symmetry.
I'll hop in for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll give it the way I look at it with the table setup is a cheat code, because I worked retail for 12 years. So I just set everything up like it's an end cap to draw the most attention possible. Big things on the side, small center, like attention focused things in the middle. Get people, you see something as you're walking up, you see something in the middle, you see something as you're walking away, and all of it is cool endeavors.
Yeah. He also has a lot of help with like that type of stuff. So if he chimes in, it's because he's the other half of some art. he's the player that you don't, you know, hear about, but
Right.
he's huge.
He sends you out there to be the face.
Yeah, and you know, if it, like I said, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I was. So shout out to my partner.
Is there any other things you do? Because like for example, at my table, I'll play like music and stuff like that, kind of get like a more like friendly, inviting vibe and stuff like that.
So we always play music. I don't know if you've noticed. We always got our DJ stuff playing, or like something like really fun EDM stuff. I would just say like we're just very authentic. You know what I mean? We're always trying to relate to the customers. You know, always trying to find out what they like, always offering, you know, if you don't like it in this size, we can print it bigger. We always give like incentives for people to buy more. We also do a lot of like deals. So like I make sure that I always include like, you know, deals of if you get multiple, I'm gonna bundle them in with something else. Something else that I think is cool, not everybody buys it, but I do like mystery bags. So like those bring some like fun things to the table. I always have a sales pitch. So that's a huge thing. You have to have a sales pitch. Somebody once told me that I can sell car insurance to anybody. So think about it like that. I have like a script in my head that I tell everybody. And then it kind of personalizes it as I start talking to them. So, you know, think about all of your things, how you price it, and then use that as a sales pitch.
Also, don't forget the new the like stickers for follow incentive thing you've been doing.
That's another
that's been getting a lot of people.
Yeah, so another thing that I do is give out, if you follow me on Instagram, I give you a free sticker if you prove it. So that's another thing, like a little incentive to like follow you so you can keep in touch. I have gained so many followers that way.
Right.
People love free things, even if it's just a sticker. You could literally use your backstock stickers that you don't sell anymore, that you are just sitting, so you still have something cool. You could even print, like, you know, if you want mystery stickers that aren't on your table, you could do that. But yeah, that's a huge, huge, huge thing that I've done that's helped me like gain a lot of followers and connections. So if you can give a little incentive, even if it's not like a sticker, it could be whatever. People love free stuff. I don't know if I can curse on here, but free stuff.
Free shit. It's fine.
Free shit. There we go.
We'll be okay. I'll bleep it out in post. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for watching the video so far. Before I let you get back into it, just wanted to let you know, frayfisher.com, I got books that I've created, I've got games that I've made, and I would appreciate you going over there and checking it out when you get a chance. Maybe buy yourself something. Yes. So, frayfisher.com. All right, now let's get back to the interview. You're putting me on like a lot of game. I'm not gonna lie, because like, so the framing I got from you.
Yes.
So I frame all my stuff now.
Good idea. For sure.
I never even thought about like doing prints related to the voice actors and getting them involved. And I know a lot of people probably want to buy them so they can get them to sign it as well.
And they get that signed. Yep.
And then it's like,
It's clutch.
so you have. I'm sorry. So you about to say something?
No, I said it's clutch.
Oh yeah. So what is your best-selling item currently?
Well, I've actually been on a little bit of a, not hiatus from conventions. I've really been focusing on my school, but now that conventions are starting, I'm not, you know, I'm not sure exactly what's going to sell. It really depends. That's a really hard question to answer, because like I'll go in and I'll sell a print or a sticker that I haven't sold in like 4 conventions. Like I'll sell out. So you really just never know. I just have so many options,
right,
that like I overwhelm you with options, and like you have so many things to choose from, which also makes people buy multiple things sometimes. So the more options, the better if you can. It really depends. That's a really hard thing to answer, honestly, like a specific, like, you know, character or anything. But I also, on top of anime and like Marvel and things like that, I have like my own original artwork that's like no type of fan art, like just my, you know, collage work, my like trippy psychedelic work. You know, having that, because not everybody comes to a convention and just wants anime stuff.
Right.
Some people really like seeing art that they've never seen before. They've never seen this, you know, weird skull back with like a trippy flowery thing behind them. But they may have seen 12 different Spider-Mans.
Right.
You know, so it's really about doing a bunch of different things and giving people options if you have the ability to do that. I know not everybody has the ability to buy a bunch of prints sometimes, or like do a bunch of different things, but if you can, I would be as versatile as possible. And then, you know, if they do ask if you have something, don't just say no. Be like, I don't have that here, but like I can do a commission for you. Usually if people want like a character commission during like con season that I could resell, I charge them a little cheaper, and I'll tell them that, because I'm like, all right, I can resell this afterwards. So I'll like do a commission for them specifically, and then I'll sell it at my table throughout the convention like season as well.
Usually I find it that people are they kind of want to niche down into a specific area with their like their stuff. Like they just focus on fan art, or like comics, or like anime characters, etc., etc. But you saying versatility, that kind of goes against the grain, but at the same time I can see how it works for you because of your unique style. You know what I mean? It's like, even though you're doing so many different things, you're still able to connect it all together under your brand because of how it looks.
Yeah. I would say I have a very, very unique look. You know, not trying to like sound cocky, but like if you like if you like look around the conventions, like you're not gonna see art probably the way you see my art. I think it's because I didn't start as an anime convention artist. Maybe I come from like fine art. I've come from, you know, 4 or 5 hours of art classes a day, crying, painting, doing still life. So like I'm not saying that, you know, people don't have the artistic background that I do. I just have so many different influences of art that like you see it in my artwork at my table as well.
Right. How do you feel about your original artwork versus like the anime artwork? Like, which one do you think sells better for you?
I mean, I definitely sell more anime art a lot of the times,
Right.
but like, I mean, I'll sell all of my normal art. Sometimes I sell out of that too.
Cap in like 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
So I think what cool thing about it is because they have so much different stuff, you'll see them sell a lot to a lot of different people and a lot of different demographics. For example, like they said that when they did the gun show, they did a bunch of like gun art. Like I'm a gun nerd. I know a lot of dads that go to a convention might not necessarily be there to look at One Piece or
Right.
get a Goku picture for his son, but the dad sees a cool gun art that he likes. Now there's something for him. Or for example, like they're very trippy, like Spencer's poster-esque, like just weird art that they do. Like, you know, the moms might not be there to get Kaneki or fucking Nezuko from Demon Slayer,
Right.
but they might like some really cool flowery art. So it gives a little bit of something for everyone when you're at the table. And then, for example, like I make pins. We have the enamel pins and things. Somebody might you have a couple of that. The girl really likes art. The guy's like, oh, cool, I like pins. So you got something for everyone. So it's very like, you know, diverse, and you can just get a bunch of different styles out to a bunch of different people at once.
Yeah. And then it helps because like if a couple wants two different things, we're able to bundle that together. Oh, you guys are together. We got this. You know, we'll knock down the price if you want pins and a print. Like we got you. So it's really about adjusting. I say to some people, I don't know if you're gonna have to bleep this, but I have broke bitch mentality. So I try and be fair to myself and to the people. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So speaking of which, so there's a lot of people that are kind of like starving artists, basically, with their art. And I feel like a lot of people undervalue their unique art, and they kind of have it's hard for them to charge like better prices. Like I've seen your prices, and like some of your stuff is kind of like on the higher end compared to other artists. But it's like also I see that you put more like quality into it, like, you know, with the framing, and you know the style is just so unique. So how do you talk to more artists to get them to not price themselves so low that they leave the convention and it's like they can barely get back?
I mean, it's really about figuring out your market and figuring out what works. You know, I've made slight adjustments to my prices before. Sometimes I'll go to a convention and say it's like the end of the season. I'll like drop my price a little bit just to like get rid of some stuff. But you mentioned framing. Framing is huge. I you know tell everyone if you can frame your prints, frame them, because that makes people want to spend a little bit more because you're gonna go out and buy a frame. But if I have a frame for you, like the work is done. You go home and hang it up.
Yeah, there's no time wasted once you get home and more money, because like, that's how most people's mentality is. Like you get a picture, no frame. It's like, oh, now I have to go home, go out of into a store, spend an extra $5-10, get home, do it, hang it up, so that it becomes a hassle. Whereas if you have it all right there in front of you, yeah, I mean it's like picking up a pizza at Little Caesars. You just and you're home.
Yeah, and like it's not hard to find affordable frames. It's really not. If you look for affordable frames at like Walmart, I make all of my frames are the same as well. So like it's very uniform. I buy the same exact frame from big to small to whatever. So they all look the same as well. But framing is huge. Framing. I say it again, and I say it again. It offers people that incentive to spend that extra, let's just say $5. It makes me feel like I can price something just, for example, at $25 rather than 20, we'll say, because people have that incentive to buy it now, even more.
Can I hop in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, there's two of us.
Another thing I was gonna say, when it comes to pricing yourselves out, a lot of artists, I feel like, not don't know how to talk to people as much, or are a little bit like apprehensive to talk to people at their tables. What I say is like, so I've been in a touring band for like 10, 15 years of my life, so I sell merch and everything. I talk to people all the time. That's how I make my money at shows. Talk to people. Don't be scared. If you talk yourself up, not to be like, talk yourself up like you're hot shit, but like talk yourself up a little bit. Give the client more to know. It gives them a little bit more of an incentive to help you, to want to pay you. You know what I mean? If they know you're the starving artist, if they know you're here to make your money, if this is how you make your bread and butter, like,
right.
I mean, if you tell them, hey, man, this is $15, not $8, you know what I mean? Most genuine people with a level of respect for the art aren't going to just walk away because of that. And it's just a matter of getting that through to them with your own confidence rather than, seeming shy or off-putting, or like you're not. If you're willing to push for your art to be more money, most people will respect it and probably pay you a little bit more money. Don't be afraid to charge what you want to charge for your art. Like, don't go crazy, but like make it reasonable. And most people understand if the art's good, it speaks for itself, and you can be a personable person and just get it across. I think most people could raise their prices a few dollars and probably get away with it without much of an issue.
Authenticity is so important.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he hypes me up a lot, so I've learned to do what he's saying a little bit more. Like I said, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I was. That's why he's answering some of the questions as well.
Right.
But it's just about being authentic. Like, literally, like, I'll talk to people and I'll tell them about all of these cool things that I've done. So they're like, oh, this person's legit. So like, think about your accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, hey, just so you know, like, I've done commission work for Bardo. I've done commission work for this, that. One time I commissioned somebody to do their entire house. I did like 35 different designs. One time I sold art to the actor for Breaking Bad, Walter White Jr., RJ Might, or whatever is however you say his Might. I've done this, I've done that. Like, people appreciate that. I'll even tell them, like, I'm an art therapist, so my whole life is art. So like, you buying this from me is more than just you giving me your money. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, when somebody buys your things, even if they're giving you $10, you're like, yes, someone has my art hanging up in their house now. You know what I mean? It's more than just money. And if you make people realize that, because artists don't always realize that, that like when they buy your art, you think about how that's going to be in their living room, not just that you just made $20.
Yeah.
So authenticity, just be as authentic as you can.
A lot of people at their tables just don't look like they're having a good time, or look like they don't want to be there. No one's gonna come up to you and want to hang out and talk to you about art of you if you don't look enthusiastic about your own art. Like, people come up and go, oh, how much is this? How much is this? You see a lot of people at cons, you get a lot of people just monotone, deadpan. Oh, it's $5. Oh, okay. Like, if you don't seem hyped for your own art, why would I feel hyped for your art? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people pick up the attitude and get a coffee and put a smile on. Have a good day. You're at a convention. I mean, it's nice out. Yeah. People are having a good time. Have a good time as well. Because if you come to the convention and you seem like you're not having a good time behind that table, no one's going to want to have a good time with you.
Yeah. And even if you're having a bad time, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Put on some music you like, bop around.
Yep, that's what we do. Keep it
Don't
positive.
sit in your iPad the whole time drawing. Sometimes when it's a little slow on like a Friday, I'll like do that. But like,
there's two of us.
There's two of us, so it's a little differently. But even then, like, I try not to just like sit there and draw the whole time, when sometimes that's all I want to do, because I'm not the most social person ever. But just really making it known. Or if I am drawing, maybe I'll show somebody what I'm doing and being like, hey, I can do more. Like, really using any little thing that you can to show them that you're serious about what you're doing and that it's more than just money making.
And throw in one more. Talk to people. When you see people walk by your table, if they got, like I do it all the time, when people walk by the table, let's say they got a Dr. Doom shirt on and we got a cool Dr. Doom. Hey man, I like that Doom. Check that out. I got something for you. Come here.
Yeah.
Show them. Bring them in. Try to reel them in. If they got something that that if you have something on your table, that they're gonna vibe with. Show them. Sales pitch. Hey yo, man, you like go come and look at all these Super Saiyan blues I got. Like, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Show them what they like is available at your table. We made so many sales that way. People go, oh, I like that pin bag. Can I see that? We got 100 pins on the table. Next thing you know, boom, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
This has been actually very helpful for me too. Like I've been doing conventions by myself for the past 5 years. And like this interview has been very helpful because there's just stuff I didn't even think about doing, and I've been doing it for a while. So
yeah, you got to think more than just the artist. You have to think of, this is your brand.
Yeah. We're a cheat code because
he's retail. I mean,
retail merch boy.
Yeah, traveling, touring bands, so he knows all of that. But like, yeah, it's more than just being an artist. You're it's your brand. You're a marketer. You are a salesman. You have to know how to sell.
Yeah, you know how to sell yourself.
Like literally, like people come up to the table. All right, my prints are this. My stickers are this for this. If you buy this, you'll get this for, like, I overwhelm people with information. And then I'm like, my price sheet is right here. If I literally say at the end of my spiel, if I said too much to you all at once, my price sheet is right here. Let me know if you have any questions.
How do you break people out of that mentality between I'm just an artist but you have to look at everything like a business if you want to survive and make money?
You mean like, how do I break out of the mentality, or how do I break others, like consumers, out of the mentality to understand?
I guess it would be how you break. If you were an artist. Mm-hmm. Well, you are an artist, but
I know what you're saying. How I should
like because a lot of artists come in there and they're just like, I'm an artist. I don't want to think about the business side, and then it's like I feel like they never achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
You have to think about the business side.
Yeah, you have no choice. Like, you have to do it.
It's business.
In the most blunt way possible, you have to think of it as a business, because that's what it is. You're not paying $200 for a table because you're just an artist. Like, you are a business at that point. You have an artist name. Some people have their name in front of their table. Obviously, you're a brand, so it's kind of just faking it till you make it. If you don't have that confidence, I say it all the time. I say it in therapy. I say it in my real life, is fake it till you make it, and eventually you'll just be like, oh, this is second nature. Mm-hmm. I remember when I first started, bringing it back to my partner again, he's like, you have to promote yourself, and I'm like shaking, like, I don't know how to socialize with people. And then it's just like, it just comes and it comes and it comes, and it's just becomes second nature. Like, I could tell you my sales pitch right now, and I haven't done a convention in a few months. So it's just always there. Even if you're nervous, write down your sales pitch, memorize it like it's a script. And you don't even have to say it the exact same every single time, but come up with what you want to say. Prepare yourself. You would prepare for a school project. You would prepare for something at work. It's a presentation. It's more than just artwork. It's so much more. And some people just don't realize that. And, that's normal. We're artists. We like to be behind the canvas. We like to be behind the screen a lot of the times. It's, it's really hard to put yourself out there, even if you're at the convention. It's nerve-wracking sometimes being like, hey, come to my table and, check this out. And they're like, oh, this is cool, and then walk away. Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, dang. But then you got that next two people that are going to come buy something. You just have to keep trying. And you're never, ever, ever going to make a sale if you don't just keep pushing for those sales.
I bully people.
Yeah, he bullies people a little bit.
I don't bully people. I just push.
He does push really, really hard. He likes to hype me up a lot. So
I have good sales tactics. That's why I work for BRYSON.
Yeah, so
I understand. We're almost out of time.
Okay.
But thank you for everything. Can you tell everybody where they can find you on the social medias?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at art 0816. Same on Facebook. I don't have a website or anything, but that's coming soon, hopefully. Catch me at a bunch of conventions in the area. If you're in the PA area, I'm doing Geekdom, I'm doing LibertyCon, I'm doing I don't even know, Garden State Anime Fest. Next week I'm doing Cyclone Con up in North Jersey, April 5th. So, that's it. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm also on TikTok. So, yeah.
thank you so much for all the information. I really got like an enlightenment moment. I'm like, aha, I should be doing this when I go to conventions.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you have any other questions, whether it's on here or, if you just want to hit me up, let me know. I'm always here to help.
yep. Well, I appreciate you being here.
Of course.
And
Thank you for having me.
yeah,
Well, also,
everybody, if you got all the gold that she dropped for you, follow, like, do all that other stuff that you would do on YouTube. So
if you want to buy artwork, I sell through my Instagram. Hit me up. I got my portfolio in a drive folder as well.
there you go. All right. And all her information will be in the description below.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Well, that concludes the interview. Everybody have a good day. Thank you again, Summer.
Yeah, thanks, Fred.